everybody, welcome to Jambar in 10. I'm Rocco Latrena.
And I'm Jordan Bond.
Cliffe College of Creative Arts Dean Dr. Phyllis Paul announced her retirement on Thursday, November 20th. Paul was first appointed dean in 2015, having transferred from the University of Oregon School of Music and Dance. Dr. Amy Costantino, Associate Provost and Dean of the Sokolov Honors College, will assume Paul's role as dean on July 1st, 2026. Costantino has over 35 years of higher educational experience and has been with YSU since 1990.
Youngstown State University students and community volunteers planted 1,750 native trees on Thursday, November 13th as part of the annual Legacy Forest Program planting event. They aim to plant one tree for every incoming YSU freshman. The donor-funded project aims to reduce greenhouse gases, support conservation, and protect wildlife habitat. Key partners include First Energy, Mill Creek Metro Parks, Borman Subaru, and Mahoning Duck Hunting and Conservation Club. This year, 120 volunteers attended, including 80 students and 40 community volunteers. Since 2020, the program has planted a total of 8,750 trees. The Legacy program hopes to expand further, strengthening partnerships and weaving more environmental learning into YSU's curriculum and research.
Youngstown State University's Mechanical Engineering Technology program recently received a 3-year certification from the Foundry Education Foundation. Jambar reporter Cami Rackenbaugh has more.
The recognition honors programs with strong industry engagement and high-quality training. Brian Vuksanovich says the certification helps strengthen YSU's mission to provide students with practical, hands-on skills that they can use immediately in the workforce.
And then we decided to go and get certified because we were getting a lot of our other classes certified, so our students would have industry certifications in addition to their regular degree.
The MET program will offer a new 6-course metalcasting certificate. The courses cover 3D modeling, GDT, manual and CNC machining, robotics and casting, which utilize the tools and technologies used to solve real engineering problems. The certificate is open to students from any major, making modern manufacturing skills more accessible across campus.
We've taken out the prerequisites that kind of require you to be a mechanical engineering tech student. We can take students from anybody. They could come in and take the classes.
The program also utilizes the Excellence Training Center, where students work with industrial robots, automated pouring systems, and the same simulation software used by manufacturers. The MET program is also home to YSU's American Foundry Society chapter, which competes in national casting competitions and often earns top finishes. For more information about the certificate or upcoming program offerings, visit YSU's College of STEM website.
On Friday, November 7th, the Public Library of Youngstown in Mahoning County held an event called Just How Weird is Ohio as part of their America 250 program. For the event, the library hosted author and paranormal researcher James Willis. Willis gave presentations on strange historical events and reported cryptids in Ohio.
The one I did at the main library was where I talked about real historical events that happened in Ohio, but there was just a weird spin on them. And the other presentation even involved like talking about Bigfoot and other mythical creatures that have been alleged to have been roaming around Ohio as part of their history.
Those interested in Willis's work can check out strangeandspookyworld.com. But for right now, we're going to toss it to break. Thank you again for joining us in Jambar. We'll be right back after these messages.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us, and we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Hi everybody, welcome back. The Youngstown State University football team continued its playoff search with consecutive wins over number 16 Southern Illinois University and Indiana State University.
YSU opened the two-game stretch with a 48-38 win over Southern Illinois on November 8 at Stambaugh Stadium. Youngstown State then defeated Indiana State on November 16th in its home finale, 48-29. Quarterback Bo Brungard produced 6 total touchdowns for his second consecutive week, throwing for 3 and rushing for 3. His performance brought a season total to 42 touchdowns, split evenly between 21 passing and 21 rushing. Junior Mike Wells recorded 10 total tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks, marking one of the strongest statistical performances by a YSU defender this season. After the game, head coach Doug Phillips said Wells has continued to grow from a defensive standpoint on the team and has helped to bolster their interior line. With looming playoff hopes, Youngstown State will conclude the regular season on the road at the University of Northern Iowa at 2 p.m. November 23rd inside the Unidome. With YSU in search of its first win in the Unidome since October 23, 1999, Phillips said the team has to execute in all the facets of the game in order to break the streak.
You know, for us, it's about execution. It's about us having the right mindset of battling for 60-plus minutes, playing for 4 quarters, playing with great fundamentals. The practice execution becomes game reality, no whether you're playing on carpet, in a dome, in a gymnasium, in the backyard. You know, you got to come ready to play. And let's go! The red and white are waving over the field. Our boys are fighting for the spirit that will not yield. Rah, rah, rah. Hail to the old Youngstown. We'll fight for you. Once again, the Penguins.
Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Matt Soller.
The Youngstown State men's basketball team wrapped up an exciting 3-game stretch to start the 2025 and 2026 season, showing plenty of promise early on. Zach Flesch has more on the Gwins.
The YSU men's basketball team opened up their 3-game stretch on the road against Grand Canyon University, picking up the win 90-81, snapping the Antelopes' 15-game home winning streak.
Senior Emmanuel Zorgville scored a career-high 18 points and added 4 blocks. 4 Penguins reached double figures, including Chris Carroll, Tay Blackshear, and Drew King, who nearly recorded a triple-double with 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. Back at home for their season opener, YSU dominated Penn State Shenango, 115-53. 7 players scored in double figures, highlighted by Zorgville's 18 points and a breakout 14-point performance from freshman Jaden Haynes, who also added 4 steals. The Penguins scored 72 points in the second half, the 4th highest total and a half in program history. And they also recorded 20 steals, their most since 2017. After the win, Haynes said although the team started slow in the first half, both he and his teammates knew they needed to have a strong second half to pull away.
Even before Coach came in, we kind of knew what he was going to say. We felt it in ourselves, knowing that we weren't giving our best effort. Our guys picked up on that and made the right adjustments.
The 3-game stretch wrapped up with a competitive 84-80 loss on the road at St. Bonaventure. Senior Vlad Salaridze returned from injury to contribute 13 points, while junior Rich Rolfe led YSU with 14, and Carroll also chipped in with 13. Following the loss, head coach Ethan Faulkner said he's still optimistic about his team moving forward.
Gives me great optimism about our team is we can play a game and make that many mistakes, particularly on the defensive end of the floor, and still have a chance to win the game.
The Penguins currently sit at 2-2 overall, and they hit the road again to face the University of Toledo. The game will be streamed on ESPN Plus at Savage Arena, November 19th at 7 p.m. I'm Zach Flesch with Jambar TV.
After a milestone season, the Youngstown State University men's and women's cross-country teams closed out the 2025 campaign at the NCAA Great Lakes Regional Championships on November 14th at the Angel Mounds cross-country course in Evansville, Indiana. The men placed 12th in the 10K race, while the women finished 16th in the 6K to wrap up their postseason run in Division I. As the women opened the day, junior McKinley Fielding set the pace for the Penguins. Fielding placed 42nd overall and improved 20 spots from her regional finish a year ago. Behind her, YSU's pack stayed tight in the middle of the field. Sophomore Kaylee Richards capped her second season, with a 75th place finish, and senior Jenna Razavi followed close behind in 77th. Razavi's finish gave the Penguins 3 runners inside the top 100. Further back, sophomore Megan Stafford finished 142nd, while sophomore Maggie Hopple was just a few seconds behind in 146th. Junior Lillian Katsaris placed 167th, while freshman Karis McElhenney rounded out the lineup in 202nd. In the men's 10K, graduate student Tobias Jones led the Penguins one last time. Racing his final cross-country meet, Jones placed 53rd, improving 1 spot from his 54th place finish at last year's regional. Redshirt junior Sage Vavro placed 57th, giving YSU 2 runners in the top 60 in the men's field. Redshirt junior Blaze Fitch was the next Penguin across the line in 74th. A trio of young runners packed up to secure the remaining scoring positions as redshirt freshman Brock Ferris finished 97th, redshirt freshman Ethan Cope took 111th, redshirt junior Owen Brady placed 131st, and redshirt freshman Patrick Burgos closed in at 173rd. With the conclusion of the season, 3 Penguins earned accolades for the program. Fielding entered the regional as the defending Horizon League individual champion after breaking her own program record with a 22nd performance at the conference meet. Burgos earned Horizon League Men's Freshman of the Year honors, and head coach Brian Gorby was recognized as the HL Women's Coach of the Year.
Be More Chill opened last week in the Spotlight Arena Theater in Bliss Hall from the YSU's Theater Department. Reporter Josh Robinson has more on the story.
Under the direction of YSU professor Adam Howard, the YSU Theater Department continued their 2025-26 season with the showing of Be More Chill last weekend at the Spotlight Arena Theater in Bliss Hall. Be More Chill follows the protagonist, Jeremy here, a socially awkward boy in high school who is fed up with being bullied and takes a pill that contains a Super Quantum Intel Unit Processor, or SQUIP, an artificial intelligence that gives him advice on how to be popular. Howard said that the theater department selected to add Be More Chill to their season because it allows his students to get experience in more contemporary shows.
Because we are a training program, we can't just do the same kind of musical all the time. So sometimes you have to do the great big classic musical, the good old-fashioned golden age or jazz age musical, and sometimes you have to do something really contemporary. And this is one of the most contemporary musicals there is.
Sam Neighboring, piano performance major and playing Jeremy in Be More Chill, said that preparing for the show has been a lot of work, not just for him, but for the rest of the cast.
Well, we rehearse every night. It's from 7 to 10. And it's, you know, especially as we get closer to show dates, we're running shows from 7 to 10, essentially. We're running the show without really stopping.
Natalie Horvath, senior double major in musical theater and biology, said she feels personally connected to her character, Christine.
Some of my favorite parts of the role is that she's such an outgoing character and she's just so loving of everybody in theater. It's just so much fun to play a role that's so similar to myself and getting to play a dream role of mine.
Be More Chill will be shown again this weekend at 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and then at 2:30 on Sunday. Reporting for the Jambar, I'm Josh Robinson.
Well, that wraps up our show for the day. Once again, I am Jordan Bond.
And I'm Rocco Latreno.
Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Jambar in 10.
Support for Jambar TV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.